welcome to another episode on my riding robot discovery based on the fischertechnik TXT controller, which, as you can see, now runs the community firmware, enabling me to do image processing using OpenCV, Open Computer Vision, and the probes are connected via this crane on the right hand side to the oscilloscope, with the upper two lines being the output of the motor, showing pulse width modulation, and the lower two lines being the feedback from the motors, which are pulses to be counted. So, does it all work correctly? Well, I managed to get some gray images, which is actually just a step towards color recognition. But last time, or the time before that, there was a problem, because on the last floor test it turned out, unfortunately, that neither the sonar, which is, if I can put this cable away here, nor these touch sensors seemed to work during the last floor test, and despite me putting the battery packs, which are quite heavy, these type of battery packs, they really should make an impact to the sensors, but sure should be seen, or detected anyway, by sonar, which is ultrasonic detection. And it just ran through, pushing the AccuPacks forward. So somehow there is a problem with that. Other than that, I want to go into the direction that whenever it detects a red object, since many of the fischertechnik parts are colored red, that it reacts on that too. But I'm not that far yet. So, as yet I will, as long as it's connected to the oscilloscope, do some OpenCV, and maybe the lamp will work, maybe the sound will work, which comes straight from the controller, TXT controller. But anyway, we'll see what happens this time. And I'm very curious, because each time something else seems to go not quite according to planning. So the course is a very short one. From this position straight to, well, at least intended here, where it should detect by sonar this crane, and maybe if it turns because of the distance, then it should at least bump into either this one or this one. Will it happen? Time will tell, and we'll see. So, time for screencast with some programming and see how it responds, and see some imaging. Right, on with some tests, and that may get more awkward than it sounds. Looking at the coder,
have here FT RoboPie. No surprise there, but I also have it like this, and it is recommended, they say, to replace this with auto. But this still works for me. So the question is, with this started, all things removed, what works and what doesn't? So let's see how this ends up. If it works anyway. Alright. You see here that it is very nicely done. A pulse modulation with output from the motors. Password. Password, text gray, and now for the some other gray image, and now it doesn't run because it is probably being kept from other stuff. Alright, so yeah, last time password. And now it drives backwards a bit. That is most peculiar. Anyway, what do we have here? Gray image, text ray, and this. What do we have here? Well, text gray and text image are alright. Then this we have as well. So now we say display gray image ampersand. Alright, now we have this. It is a gray image. Then gray image, and we choose 9 since that is the first image, which again is a bad image, which also means that 38 is a bad image. Yes, it is. Then we have 38 and 33, so we first take 33. No, it is 33, 9. That is this image, which is slightly different, and then the 38, which is this one. So these two are the same, and this is an earlier image. So, all things compared, this simply works. No need for auto or whatever. Maybe in on the default firmware, but on here it does work. Alright. This said, what is then the matter with red? Because it claims, according to software, that this singles out red. But does it? Let's first do this, and then just write that's something I should do actually, because this is the last image that was given. So I move this one to let's say 14 3, 3, 3, 8, 10. It is the last taken image and I'm fine with that. So this is now the only one there, which is good. I only have to take care of the date, but so far so good. Next, red. I am changing my strategy a bit. First of all, I am determining the location in the image which I want to know about. For that I use numpy size image, which I originally create, and then 0, and then I print the height and then the width of the image. Next thing, I determine the pixel I want to know. So in this case, height divided by 4 and width divided by 4, and then I print the red, green and blue value of the pixel is the intention. So let's go. See, and then it is of course very nice if I actually put the robot back in place. Alright. Right. So there's no red in it. That's interesting. I can quit this because I want to have red. Here is no red. So what do I want? I want something with red. I need to change the value. And that is the value here. So if this is quarter of the height, then I need to have this, which is that's an interesting question. Where does it start measuring? If it starts measuring here, it is a quarter of the height. If not, what is it? So I change this to 2. It's very interesting. So let me put it back into place. Save and go again. Will this give some information that I like? No, it doesn't, because this is still 0. I just continue for now, but it's no use, and I end. So let's see where this brings me. A lot of images. And a new gray image, which I don't care about right now. So let's just say this can quit. Alright. I have brand new images that, let's say, the first one, 14. Uh, 1457. That's the same one again. Not quite surprising. But since this value, oh really? Wait a second. That's different, because this one has a red value. So if I take another one, as let's say 59 and no, 57, 27 or 6, let's say 27. That's this one. So much closer, and half of the height, well, that is correct, a fourth of the width. Okay, let's say this is a fourth of the width. Then we have gray, then we have red value 162. Green value of 182 and blue of 199, somewhere here. So that's at least something I can work with. So then I will have to single out something, but it's better to concentrate on the red value, because that is what I want to do. If I lose track of the course, as happened many times if you follow this series of videos, then I can, with this value or with red, I can get back on track. The problem is, if I look at the real value, look at this value and look at this now look at this color and this color, you can see that it is exactly the same object, but this is not nearly as red as this. So how to deal with that?
So there appears to be a distinct color difference between the situation when the robot is at a close distance to the object and when the robot is set on its first location, which is about here. However, thinking back at my test with color on my other driving robot, Midveer, another cause can be, not a problem, the cause can be the lighting. And I think, since the lighting is right now exactly on top of the robot, I can see what happens when I change the position of the lighting, which is now let's say right here. So, and right here is at this location. Now the lighting is exactly here. What will be then the difference when I make the images? Will it won't matter that much. Somehow I doubt it. It is the same light source, and when I put the robot like here, as it was, or I don't care, here, then the object here is not being obscured. It's getting the same amount of light as when I put the object right here. So then, with that reasoning, how come that the object on the image is of a different color red? Well, it is the same object. A good question. And yes, the only way to do that, to make that out, or to find out, is to do another test. Apart from that, I still want to know why objects are not being tested, or objects are not being detected. So let's do that as well. Let me just run test and see whatever happens. With sonar as well as the touching, so I'm putting it not in a straight line, so a little bit of an angle towards the crane, and then let's see whatever happens. Will it detect anything? Now it should detect the sonar, or use the sonar for detecting it and then stop at, let's say, something like this, or in any way drive slower. That goes wrong. So I now need to see why it goes wrong. Or just do it again. Now to get connected. You see what happens? It pushes the whole thing away, and it keeps pushing. It still pushes the whole thing away. So I interrupt the program, because this is not the object, this is not the intention, of course. So why does this happen? And I can assure you it's quite heavy. Certainly with this, but then the power has to be quite strong. So let me remove this. So whatever is happening, I don't know, but it's completely ignoring all sensors except for the camera.
Before going to a floor test, I of course have to see whatever happens, and let's see if before this huge image I get situation. No, before no more information about this yet. So let's look at the rest of the whole stuff. It runs, and here it gets into camera action. and after saying the distance, it runs further. But why? When does it run further? Action 10. Camera action 10. Right. When does it say 10? 10 says here number. It is a number. But where is the number located? What is done with the number anyway? I think I should be watching here somewhere, looking here. Number. So in case of the ordinary file, let's look here. Is the number, 10 is the number, 0 is the number, 0 is the number. Where is 0, where is 10? 0 is here, the very start. 10 is here. At least. Did I do miss 10 now? Camera action, come on. Where are you? This is 0. Anyway, so that is the number. So it does get on. But then again, there's no action from the sensors as I can see, and that's not correct. So what I want to do now is again the floor test with number of objects and see how far it goes with respect to the sensors, because that's the only way I can understand why it ignores the touch sensors and the sonar. So, floor test time.
So then the last part for this episode. Robot set to actually to collide with a battery pack right here, and not a dysfunctional but a non-used data link right here. This is lightweight. This is not exactly lightweight, being a battery AccuPack. So let's see how it behaves. If it behaves. Takes a bit of time. It says camera is not connected. And I notice why, because alright, what is happening? It is looking at the wrong IP address, I think, but I don't mind right now. It should run anyway. and it clearly detects red, which is logical, I think. And there it goes. Still detecting red. But yeah, well, this isn't doing anything further. And why, I don't know. It waits for passwords, but apart from that, it should have moved in between. And that doesn't happen. So there's nothing happening. Okay, that is something for next time. Automate the images, the image transfers, and why does it not move apart from the clear diversion that it has now, because it should have gone this way and now it's riding that way. No collision anymore. Maybe sonar detection, but even that is doubtful. So for now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Give it thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, retweet and like. Follow me on Instagram and like. Give comments if you want. Please donate to keep videos coming to you. More information at the start of this video or on my website, which is listed beyond, below this video, and I think also at the start of this video. And this is going to be continued. Bye bye.